5:30, we've started the recording. My name's Shannon Pensa, and thank you all for joining us. I can't believe how quickly April went by, and belated Mother's Day to everyone that it applies to, whether it's children, grandchildren, pets. I'm sure you're ladies and gentlemen, all mothers in some way or another. Anyway, so I'm going to call the meeting to order now at 5:30. And of course, our first order of business is to discuss and approve the minutes. Did everyone receive the minutes by email today?
I received them.
And you all can use the reactions as well if you want to signal. Great, Ruby, okay? And did we have any corrections, or does someone want to make a motion to approve the minutes as they are?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, thank you. And anyone to second that approval?
I second.
All right, and we'll just assume everyone yay. If you say no, then just give me a thumbs down reaction. Okay, so it looks like no thumbs down. We can approve the minutes and move on to the next order of business, citizen comment. I checked with Maribel right before the meeting, and she let me know no one signed up for their 3 minutes of fame tonight. So we can just keep moving along to the library report.
Ms. Shannon, Ms. Brenda will be making the presentation on our library report.
Sorry, I got stuck on mute. So, hello everyone. There have been a few new developments since our last meeting. The most significant one being that we are no longer operating under a block schedule and have instead resumed normal hours of operation at both of our libraries. Because of this uninterrupted schedule, we have noticed a steady climb in our number of patron visits. We've also changed our capacity. Before we were operating at 25%, but now we're up to 50%. Also, as of last week, we opened up our study rooms, and so they're now available for checkout to our patrons. We've also increased the number of times patrons may renew their items from 1 time to 2 times. The rest of our services continue to be available to the public, including curbside, virtual programming, Check Out a Librarian, and Live Answers. I'm also proud to announce that today we did welcome our first ever Makerspace advisor. His name is John Solis, and you'll get to meet him within the next few meetings. His focus will be in establishing the Makerspace program at both libraries. And Makerspace can involve a variety of areas ranging from basic carpentry to crafting to graphics to 3D printing and so forth. We are excited to see what he will develop, but I do know for sure that he's very excited about joining our team. Lastly, I just wanted to add that the Brownsville Herald did a really nice article on the Southmost Library back in April that featured the changes we've made within the past year and a half. It was a very positive, and it did feature some photographs from our Friends of the Library room and our main floor, and they even captured some shots of our team members. And so that's basically it. Are there any questions?
I would like to add that we are going to have, there's another gentleman coming in too. We are going to have 2 Makerspace advisors, 1 for each branch. Obviously, they're going to work hand in hand, but it's going to be 2 Makerspace advisors.
Thank you, Brenda. Were there any questions from the group tonight about utilization and services? Okay, thanks so much, Brenda, and thank you all staff who are joining us, and what a wonderful job you're doing with this transition from the block schedule to the full schedule, and keeping up with patron demands and cleaning, which I know is a big task. So thank you very much. Okay, so moving on from the library report, We have a presentation on the Dollar General grant, a youth literacy grant.
Hello, can you all hear me? Yes? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Hernandez. I am a librarian with the Brownsville Public Library System. I am currently working on the Dollar General Youth Literacy Grant along with the grant team. I believe Miss Olga Moya is on here for any questions that we might need from her. Next slide. So this grant is to allow or help below grade level students to increase their literacy skills. The grant total would be $4,000. If after budgeting, if awarded, we will be using 3,998.76. The plan is to purchase telescopes, STEM kits, and books for both branches here at Main and Southmost. The overview of the program that we're creating is STEM inspired, which will be offered once a month for an initial 10-month span. And we will be recording results with surveys and attendance. And then based off on the success of the programs, we do plan to add this part of our regular programming. And if awarded, we'll be awarded on September 6th. If applied, if granted the award. And any questions?
Thank you, Katie. Are there any questions? I think that this youth literacy grant was one that was alluded to a few meetings ago, and so I'm glad to see that we're proceeding with application.
I don't have a
Yes.
question, but I do have a comment. I'm so excited to see that we're focusing on STEM, especially because of all the exciting things that are happening within Brownsville, within our community. I absolutely love that. So thank you for that. Thank you for encouraging not only literacy, but also the STEM programs.
Yes, we're working along with the grant. With the grant department and the children's department with Chase and Kayla, so we can try to develop a STEM program, and we can kind of close the gap between STEM and the community. So that's great.
Okay, thanks again, Katie, and thank you, Ruby, for your comments. Yes, early literacy is super important to getting our kids a leg up. So if there are no further questions from our board, then we can move on to the next grant presentation for the Texas Book Festival. And Jose Gonzalez is going to be presenting to us tonight.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day. My name is Jose A. I'm a librarian here at the Brownsville Public Library System, and I will be presenting to you the Texas Book Festival Grant 2021. Next slide, please. Thank you. About the Texas Book Festival Enhancement Grant. Since the Texas Book Festival founding in 1995, it has been a part of the organization's mission to promote literacy and support Texas libraries. Each year, funds raised at the annual Texas Book Festival support grants that are distributed to libraries across Texas the following year. Since 1996, the organization has funded 1,211 grants, totaling over 3 million to 600 plus libraries in every corner of the state. Funding the Collections Enhancement Grant. The Texas Book Festival grant can upgrade or increase book collections, ebooks, books on CD, and special collections in support of our community needs. Test prep, SAT, ACT, and reference materials are also included. Please note the Texas Book Festival grant has one funding period per year for library grants. The grant award, the collection enhancement grant of $2,500 is what we're striving for, and that is what we're applying to win this award. We are striving for the $2,500 grant. The project description, how we plan to use the Texas Book Festival grant funds to increase or upgrade our collections. We chose the Southmost branch so we can upgrade excuse me, the collection book, the electronic book collection in the Spanish Easy Children's section. Please note, the grant can only be used for one branch at a time, and the Samos branch was chosen to update the ebook collection in Spanish Easy. The timeline for the Texas Book Festival grant. By the end of July 2021, we will be notified of the grant. By the end of July, applicants will be notified that they are recipients of the grant. By early August, we should be getting the mail-outs, which our recipients will begin to receive checks and the certificates. And by December 2021, we receive and shelf. All items must be purchased and shelved by the end of the month. Publicity and promotion. How are we going to be promoting this grant to our community? Well, we're going to be promoting it via tours, print materials such as posters and handouts at both branches. We will distribute newsletters throughout the community, and we will be using social media such as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to further publicize and promote this great grant. This concludes my presentation. Thank you so much. Any questions, comments, please?
It's only $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how much is usually distributed?
Yes.
No. What's the total like this Texas Book Festival? What do you know how much they usually distribute?
It was 25.
How much they have in total, like to distribute
to all libraries, to all Texas libraries? I don't know that one.
Oh.
I know the most, the highest was 20. Well, the grant was 2,500. So
does it go like a long way, or is it like not?
It helps. It really helps us start the collection, Ms. Sosa, and this could be the beginning of something. We can definitely get back with you on the amount that they offer overall, but it certainly helps. It definitely helped us identify where the need is, and Jose was noticing that that's the area where we need to at least start it and see how that goes, and then anything helps at this point. If you recall that we had not gone for any grants, so any amount helps. So I know it's very minimal, but it's a start.
So this is the first time we're applying?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is
You're
Olga.
welcome.
I just wanted to follow up with that question. I'm not too sure on the top of my head how much is usually allocated for these programs, but we can definitely do a little research and send that out to Jose and Mr. Guerra so they can share that information with you all.
Thank you, Olga.
Thank you,
I
Ms. Olga.
also would just like to make the comment that that the easy books are relatively inexpensive in comparison to other published works. So that is why $2,500 can actually go a pretty long way, because whenever you're collecting JUV juvenile books and for easy, you know, you really do get quite a lot, quite a bang for your buck on that one. Any other questions for Mr. Gonzalez tonight? I'll say thank you so much for your presentation and for working on this grant application.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a program presentation coming up next, and this will be presented by Kayla Trevino. Give me some space.
Hello everyone, my name is Kayla. I'm here with Chase, so we're kind of crowded in here in his office, but I'm a librarian here. I work closely with Chase in the children's department. This Give Me Some Space event is actually a citywide event, and it's being spearheaded by the Communications and Marketing Department. Next slide, please. So it actually began last week on May 7th, which was the National Space Day, which is why they sort of planned it around this time. So it started May 7th and it'll last through the 22nd. And this is a series of panels, streams, events, and activities from all different locations in Brownsville. The marketing department reached out to us. We worked with Maria Rentrop, and she reached out to us to get some events planned here at the library. So we have 2 events planned. The first one is this weekend, May 15th, at the main branch. And this is going to be the Exploration Theater. For those of you that don't know, the Exploration Theater is this big dome that we blow up. It has a projector in the middle and it projects a 360 film. So the kids can go inside, they can lay on the floor, and they can see everything above them in a 360 experience. And we are also going to have some space-related activities for the kids to work on while they wait. Since we are going to be doing social distancing, we can only have around 9 people inside the dome at a time. So we took that into consideration, and we're going to have some, like a scavenger hunt, some word searches, coloring pages, a little activity for them to work on while they wait for their turn. May 22nd, we are going to be at the Southmost branch, and this is going to be a double feature. This is something that the communications department requested. They wanted to do like a movie screening. So we are going to do 2 films. The first one is going to be WALL-E, and then the second one is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is something where the patrons can just come in, get ready for the movie, and we're going to be giving out free popcorn, a pickle, and lemonade to all the patrons who choose to watch the film. That's that on Give Me Some Space. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, well, thanks so much, Kayla. It sounds like you guys are finally going to resume some of these long-awaited activities of the Exploration Theater and then the movies. So I'm sure people will be thrilled to get their lemonade, popcorn, and pickle again. Okay. If we don't have any questions or comments for Kayla on this presentation, then we can move on to our summer reading program. Okay, and Chase will be giving us updates for the summer reading program.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. For anyone who's new on here, my name is Chase Sant, and I'm a librarian with the Brownsville Public Library System. And I'm really excited to be talking about our upcoming 2021 summer reading program. Our theme this year is going to be Tales and Tales. And as you can see on the bottom, it's going to be from June 14th through July 30th. Next slide, please. Like mentioned on the first slide, our summer program will span over a 7-week period. We really wanted to go with kind of like that really summer feeling and making sure that kids had activities throughout the whole summer to spend time at the library, be involved with literacy, and also other programs that we'll be offering. This year, it's going to be really exciting for us and a little bit emotional just because I know last year, due to COVID, we had to do it all virtual summer reading program. But this year, we're really excited to be doing a hybrid program. We'll be doing our annual reading challenge, and it's going to be for all ages. And I really want to make sure we point out that it's also for expecting mothers. What's really a key in part in literacy is making sure that we're building literacy from an early age and moving forward. And that's even for mothers who are expecting. There's times where they can reach their tummies and to their upcoming babies and stuff like that, and really build on that literacy initiative. But then we'll also be working on our virtual events, which will be either live or pre-recorded, and then we'll have our physical events. Like Kayla mentioned with the Give Me Some Space, we really want to make sure that not only are the events that we're offering are fun, but we are making sure that we're instilling safety within our events and making sure that we're following safety guidelines throughout those programs. So we'll be making sure to monitor that throughout the programming, making sure that not only is everyone having fun, but is everyone safe. This year, we did reach out to some of our community partners out in the Brownsville community for sponsorships for different prizes and stuff like that. So we're really grateful to be working with some. I can name some of them will be H-E-B, Rudy's, Walmart, and a few others. And then, of course, last but not least, we did reach out to our friends of the library who have been amazing in the past and helping us host these events. And, without them and their support, our events would be nothing but successful. So I want to make sure that we definitely do give credit to them. And we're excited to continue working and building that relationship with our friends of the library. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
I guess I had a question. You mentioned expecting mothers. Do you guys like reach out to a specific demographic? Like, I guess, will that demographic through like certain agencies, or is that just, you know, whoever's pregnant that wants to participate in the summer reading program? You just have activities?
Yeah, so typically it's just kind of like for us, we do whoever walks in, we want to make sure that everyone's able to participate no matter what, and we want to make sure we provide equal opportunities for that. But in terms of reaching out, we haven't done that in the past, but that's definitely something we can look into. So I definitely appreciate that advice, you know, in terms of reaching out to different agencies in terms of that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was just thinking about, I just didn't, you mentioned that, so I just thought.
Yeah, no, because I know like a lot of times, I've in my past experience, I've had mothers who are expecting, or mothers who had like 2-month-old or 3-month-old. They always kind of have that comment where they're like, "Oh, well, they're too young," and I always just want to make sure I iterate that point about like, you know, it's never too young to start a literacy journey, what I call my literacy adventure, and so I always try to like push that onto like the parents and everything to let them know like, you know, you can reach them. You know, you can do that, and it starts like you can do that with board books, you can do that with graphic novels, comic books. It doesn't have to be like an actual picture book. There's different things like even you can do at home, like reading the cereal boxes, or even if you're singing to them. So it's just different things.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chase. Yeah, and if you wanted to reach out, I think probably United Way of Southern Cameron County might have some information if there's specific demographic, or they might be a good partner in the future. But I know summer reading program is going to be a really welcome program among the community members. So it's great to see it resuming in a hybrid form. And I think, you know, we can all probably appreciate that in the future, some aspect of hybrid programming is probably going to serve all of us very well. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
I was just going to add that, like, maybe also tip of Texas, since they do a lot of parenting and stuff, but just curious that you said that. I just was wondering if you specifically were working with somebody on that. I just send a lot of my clients there that don't know how to parent well, since I do a lot of custody cases. So I just thought that was interesting that you said that. But, yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate that though. Thank you, Miss Sosa.
Well, maybe we can get Miss Sosa some flyers too to pass out to clients. That might be.
Well, I was definitely just gonna. I mean, just for my own personal clients. Also, you could take them there. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks again for everyone and their input and comments. So the next thing on our agenda is a Story Walk updates, the partnership with Parks and Rec, and Kayla is also going to be presenting on this.
Hi everyone, it's Kayla again. So like she mentioned, the Story Walk is a partnership with the Parks and Rec department here in Brownsville. And I believe the Story Walk was actually introduced back in February. This is something that, you know, everyone thought was a good idea. And so we are moving forward with the project, and we have been working with Damaris over at Parks and Rec to get everything going. Next slide, please. So the Story Walk program, we hope to launch it during the Story Walk week. And that would be in November. That's November 15th through the 19th. And we want to start at the Southmost Trail. So if you're not familiar with what a story walk is, it's basically supposed to promote literacy, but also movement and healthy habits. So that would be like going out for walks in your city's like nature trails, just for exercise and to get some fresh air. And so why not combine that with literacy? So basically we would put podiums at different spots along the trail, and it would be pictures from a book, and they could read as they walked along. So we want to start with the Southmost Trail, but I will say that they are going to be, the podiums, we want them to be mobile. so that we can move them to different trails across Brownsville and it won't be, a permanent fixture in that spot. The podiums are going to be about 34 inches tall and they're wide enough to fit 2 pages from a large picture book. And these are actually going to be built by the Parks and Recreation Department, and they will be able to withstand the elements. Sometimes you'll see a story walk where it's just like a stake and they put like the pieces of paper on a poster board, but these are going to be more permanent. They're going to have the plexiglass and we're going to be able to put the pages inside so that they're protected from the rain, and we can actually leave them out there. We requested of 80 stands from the Parks and Rec Department. So kind of what we're working on now is choosing the first couple of picture books. And then we also want to do a walkthrough with Damaris at Parks and Rec of the Southmost Trail to decide on the spacing and where we want to put each podium. So that's the Story Walk program. Does anyone have any questions?
Did that come from the task force? Oh no, it's already in the works.
No, so this, I believe this was presented before I started because I started somewhat recently, but I believe back in February, I was notified that it was actually presented during a board meeting, right, Chase?
Correct. Yeah, we had a teacher from Porter High School stop in and do a presentation on Story Walk and kind of present the idea to us. And we kind of really enjoyed the idea. And Kayla and myself and Juan, we kind of worked on what we needed to do in terms of next steps. And we met with Damaris to figure out what we needed to do and move forward.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was that
Jill-
lady, right?
Yes, that was
Miss
Cynthia
Lizardi.
Lizardi
Miss
Burlett.
Lizardi, yes.
Okay, that's awesome. That's great. That's wonderful. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, so she initially reached out to Juliana Sosa about this and was like, who do I, talk to kind of everybody. And so it made sense to bring her in to the board meeting. And, the library is the obvious partner here. So fantastic that you're working with Parks and Rec to get this created. My only question would be later down the line, once it's established, it would be to sort of augment the experience with including some digital component of it. So maybe QR codes on the very short end of the spectrum, where it's just the easiest snap the picture, or maybe even something that allows people to log in to hotspot or something like that, depending on where these locations are. I realize you can't have hotspots throughout the whole trail, but potentially at the beginning or something like that. So someone could quickly download a resource and take it with them when they left. So great.
Yeah, no, yeah, Shannon, we actually are starting to implement QR codes here at both our branches with some of our book displays and our newsletters and stuff like that, just because we saw that a lot more people were kind of like moving towards that idea versus like a paper, just because sometimes when you grab a paper, you put it into your bag or your purse or whatnot, and then you kind of forget about it versus like when you scan the code, it's just right there. So no, that's a fabulous idea.
Yeah, I think too with COVID, people are maybe reluctant to take paper anymore. All right. Were there any other comments or questions for the Story Walk and the partnership with Parks and Rec or its location at the Southmost Trail? Okay, well, thanks again, Kayla. So we now have some updates on the collaboration with VISD.
Yes, Miss Shannon. First of all, happy Mother's Day belated. Excited to see every one of you. So on April 30th, Leo and I met with Miss Peña, Miss Berta Peña, who is actually in the task force, and Miss Ayala at our Southmost branch. It was very exciting, productive meeting, and the intent was to work together with VISD collaboration to promote our services to our students, mainly at Southmost, but throughout our community and our parents. It was nice to meet Miss Peña for the first time, other than her introductory meeting with the library task force in the last library meeting. Along with Miss Ayala, I can definitely see Miss Peña's passion for library patrons, especially for our Southmost area. One of the quotes that she said, in the Southmost area, hasta los perros me conocen, that she's very familiar with the Southmost area. So it was a very awesome meeting. And I just would like to see if Ms. Ayala would like to mention something about the meeting, or Mr. Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Leo Rodriguez, librarian with the Brownsville Public Library System. And just to kind of echo on what Mr. Guerra was talking about, we did have a meeting with Ms. Peña and Ms. Ayala here at the Southmost branch. We started the meeting with a quick tour of the library, some of the changes that have happened since the closure, and just kind of upcoming updates to the library. So it was a very exciting meeting, productive meeting. We also shared, exchanged ideas about the future of the libraries and some updates that are happening to the branch. So overall successful meeting.
Yeah, and I really would like Ms. Ayala to say something, because again, it was the way she said it was like, use us, Juan, use us. We have a lot of connections. We have a lot of knowledge in collaboration with BID. So we're gonna take advantage of that. And one of the themes is that we both, all of us, have the same goal, and that's only positive things to come out of this. So I was very excited. So Ms. Ayala, you have
I'm
something
trying
to
to
say?
say, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Yes, my compliments to you, Juan. The before and after at the Southmost Library is fantastic. I'm very excited with Leo. Also, I would certainly like to thank Nubia from the Brownsville Herald. The before and after coverage is fantastic. We're very excited. Unfortunately, the representative from BISD, they had a little something at the last minute crisis that they couldn't go. But we are going to increase that communication. All of everything that you presented, it's fantastic. I'm very excited. We're there to work. Ms. Pena had a lot of ideas where we can get resources that is not going to cost us anything. The other thing is that I was just checking. We do have we did participate before in the accelerated reading program, where the kids continue their reading uses the resources at both libraries. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, they haven't been able to get it started. But I also want to promote the Friends of the Library, because what we did is that we had gives. We had for those kids that did well in the accelerated reader, and the Friends of the Library are the ones that donated the funds that we collect there to buy the things for the kids. I'm very excited about that Southmost Trail. We've already been pushing it. We are hopefully we'll have better communications in giving out the information to BISD. They're definitely willing to work with us. It's just a matter of coordinating everything. Juan, again, my compliments to you. Leo, also, I see the vast improvements that we have in the library. There's still some that are in the works, and they were working on it. So congratulations to both of you for both libraries. They're looking very sharp. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ayala. And as you can see, it's not me or Leo, it's the whole team. You can see our board. Our board meetings are now, everybody's involved, whereas before it wasn't that way. So it takes a whole team, and I'm just one part of it. But I'm very proud of my staff. And normally I don't say my staff. I'm very proud of the library team, because they're all being themselves. They have a lot of talent, and it's just moving forward. We just excited to be part of a team, and having a common goal. So thank you, Ms. Ayala, and again, hopefully we can meet with the BID. I believe Ms. Ara, we can continue this. And this is only the beginning. And I know I keep saying that, but there's the future is bright, and it's just time and passion, and we move forward. So thank you, Ms. Ayala.
Juan, let me just comment. You're right. I see the team effort. It is fantastic.
Yes.
And like I say, it takes a village to raise a child, and you're doing a great job on it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Juan and Ms. Ayala and Leo. Any other questions or comments about the BISD collaboration? Okay, well, we are at our penultimate agenda item, discussion and action of meeting format. So going forward, I assume we just want to discuss what
Yes.
meeting format is preferred.
Correct. Again, the meeting dates will still continue to be the second Monday of the month, but I would like the board, it's your discretion, if you want to continue this format as a virtual, you want to do a hybrid format or a physical format, and I'll leave it up to you. I do want to remind the board that if we do physical, I would like to do sophomores, start with the sophomores first, because of the last meeting, there's been other changes. So, but again, it's up to you. The hybrid could cause a little bit of audio issues. So my recommendation, either continue virtual or physical now that we're open. And as Ms. Ayala pointed out, I'm vaccinated, so it's just the matter. But we wanted to bring it to your attention. It's at the end of the day, it's your discretion. How would you like to continue meeting? Or we can table it for depending how things go on, but I'll leave it up to you.
Did any members of the board have a feeling one way or another about possible changes to the meeting format?
I would like to recommend that we wait one more month just to make sure about that everybody is, immunized and that we're safe and that everybody feels comfortable. But it's up to the discretion of the board. Whatever you decide, I will go along with it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Alma Ortiz-Knopf. I would like to table it. I would like to see what happens with the summer, because if you noticed last year, our peak got really bad in July. And so I think it would be best to wait until after the summer to see what happens. So that's my suggestion, that we table it for now and revisit it at the end of the summer.
So basically, Ms. Nabu, you would like to continue virtual for now?
For now, yes.
Yeah, I don't have a problem doing virtual either. I actually really like it because it's super convenient. And I know I was always late to the meetings, but that's my own fault. Because sometimes I just can't get out of this place. But it's just more convenient. But so I don't mind doing Zoom or this virtual, however y'all want to do it. But I think the general consensus is more like just wait to see after the summer. But so I'm fine continuing. We can always revisit it.
Yeah, we have a lot of holidays that kind of get packed in, and those holidays when people gather is when we tended to see those numbers start to spike. So unfortunately, I think last year coincided not necessarily with Mother's Day, but definitely after Memorial Day weekend, we saw numbers start to go up. So it sounds like most folks are in favor of continuing with this virtual format and tabling this motion for a future meeting. Is that right, folks?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we just need to make a motion to like table this for another time or for August.
I believe Ms. Knopp made the motion, so somebody can second it.
I'll second it.
Okay. All right, so we're in favor of tabling this motion till at least next meeting in June. And are there any other questions, comments before I ask for a motion for adjournment? Okay, folks. Well, thanks so much for everyone's participation today. We really moved through things quickly, but covered a lot of territory. So thank you for your time. And would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Alma.
I second that motion.
Thank you, Juliana. Okay, and so I assume we're all in favor unless we get a thumbs down. Somebody else wants to say something? This is the end. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Time is 6:10. Library board meeting has concluded.